Okay, so I don't know if any of y'all will even want to watch this video. I'm not cooking anything, but what I wanted to show y'all and my children for future viewing is how I get meat from the store once a month, and I try to buy it in bulk, and then I put it up in the freezer. I forgot my knife, so anyway, I always go to the grocery store early in the morning. If you want to manage to get some deals, you want to go early in the morning. So I'm not even entirely sure why this one was marked down. It has 4 more days to go, but it was a $19 roast. I got it for 15 bucks, and it's 2.5 pounds. So I first intended to cut this just in half. I think I'm going to do this in 3s. So this is only for me. And this is what I do every month. I'll sit there and go through every roast, trying to find the best looking one. Which, like I said, these days, none of them look good. But this one looks fantastic. And the fact that I got it, marked down. Like I said, I don't even know why it was marked down. But there were a number of other roasts in there that were expiring in 3 days, and they look, they weren't marked down. So, all right, so I'm gonna cut as much of this fat off. Do for now. Okay, so like I said, I was gonna originally cut this in half, but given that it's 2.6 pounds, I think I'm gonna do it in 3 chunks. And that'll give me, 3 days worth of meals. And so, it took me a long time to actually learn to do this, as opposed to just buying this and throwing it in the freezer, knowing good and well that when I want roast, which is all the time, I can't eat that much, and trying to, you can't thaw it out just to cook a piece of it. So here's what I do, and I'll turn this off and make another one. So, because I only have 2 made. So I got a little piece of parchment paper here. I'm gonna take a chunk. Roll up the parchment paper. I do not use tin foil, because if you would likely never be able to get all the tin foil off. It'll get into the crevices and tear off. And if you've ever bitten into a piece of tin foil, then you already know it's not pleasant. And so into a piece of parchment paper, into a freezer bag, and I just put the name and the date on there. I just put the month and the year. Of course, these won't even be here probably a month from now. I'll have done eating all of it. And I'm actually not kidding. I absolutely love roast. This is my treat to myself each month, because can't afford this expensive stuff. All right, let me wrap this one up. I'll be right back. So anyway, all right, let me get another pair of gloves on. I stopped and washed my hands, and I washed my knife. And I just got chicken all over my hand. Real quickly, wash my hand in this soap and bleach. Okay, let's show y'all how I cut up my chicken breasts. So all these chunks of fat, I cut them off. Now when I'm in a hurry, obviously I just slice these in half and I leave the fat on and throw them in the bags. But when I have the time, and I really want to try to get it done right to begin with, try to get all that stuff off, and I feel a bone right there, at least a piece of a bone. So the point of this is, if you're like me and cannot afford to go to the grocery store every week, or even every 2 weeks and buy food, I get this, big 6-pack of boneless, skinless chicken tenders. And like I showed y'all, I got this one even a few dollars off, which I'm thankful for. Now, you can cut it in half like this and beat both of these pieces out if you want to. Trash is right below me if y'all wonder where I keep putting stuff. So I cut these in half like that, and either I'll leave it this way. Now, if I was just going to leave the breast, I would cut this sucker in half right here and have me 2 breasts. Just off this half. But this right here is prime chicken tender cut. Y'all please forgive my dull, terrible knife. And this cutting board here, I use it only for chicken. I've got another white one that I use for basically anything else. And then I got a brown one. And I actually got a big bamboo one sitting right behind this camera. But the only thing I cut on this specific one is chicken. I always wash it in bleach, but I just don't want to risk any kind of cross-contamination. So, anyway. These 6 bone skinless chicken breasts will give me a ton of chicken tenders and chicken breasts. So that right there, just that 1/2 of that huge chicken breast is already, that's 2 meals for me. So, and y'all, I fully intend to bake a turkey. I tried again to get a turkey today. Went to 2 different grocery stores. They do not have any turkeys yet. So I'm starting to be concerned that I'm not going to be able to get this done before Canadian Thanksgiving. And I really hope that I can. But for any Canadians watching that are hoping that I will get this turkey baked for y'all before your Thanksgiving, if it keeps up like it is, I'm sorry. Just please know that I am trying. I've never tried to go buy a turkey outside of, a holiday season. And so I don't know if maybe we just don't have turkeys. Now, they had, turkey breast, multiple pounds, to choose from. But they didn't have an actual whole turkey. They had like 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 pound turkey breast, that I could have gotten, but that's, I need the whole turkey. If I'm going to show you how to bake a turkey, I want to show you how to bake the entire turkey, not just the breast. So here we go, y'all. I ended up with 8 bags of chicken strips that have anywhere from 9 to 11, maybe 12 chicken tenders in there. And if I decide I want chunks, I'll cut them up later. It's getting really late, and I just want to get this finished, but at least I got them cut up. So 8 bags of 9 to 12 chicken tenders, and then 4 bags each of, chicken breasts that big that I cut in half. So 4 bags of 2 chicken breasts each, and then 8 bags of 10 to 12 chicken tenders. Okay, we got our chicken done. Now let's get our beef done. This is ground chuck, so it's 80/20. And this is 5 pounds worth. So when I buy beef, same as chicken, I have to buy it in bulk, because I cannot afford to buy this every month or even every other month. So I'm not going to do this in 1 pound. We're going to go about 1.25 pounds, which will give me 4 chunks. So try there. we're going to take this chunk and we're going to set this aside. Now, I just take freezer bags. Just want to make sure they're freezer bags and not just regular, you know, zipper bags. Usually whatever, you know, I make calls for a pound, and I always want more than a pound, so sometimes you gotta smash it in there. Especially when you put too much and you don't want to waste a gallon-sized bag for that. Alright, I'm gonna throw this little extra over into this. Alright, so we can move this out of the way. Add the dishwater. Y'all notice whatever I'm doing, I always have a sink of soapy water, usually with some bleach in it, before I start these videos. That way I wash dishes as I go and I don't have a mess. Oh, sorry. That probably hurt y'all's ears because it was loud. I'm so sorry. Okay. See if I can raise this up some more. Alright, that might work. Alright, so this here we're going to make hamburgers out of. And I'm going to show y'all how I do that. I'm just going to kind of cut this open like this. We're going to add pepper. Flip it over. Flip that one over. Alright. Going to add salt. Going to add onion powder. I know I'll put onion powder on everything. And we're going to add garlic powder. Salt on this side. Smidge garlic on this side. And more onion powder. Worcestershire. Now you can use whatever you like. I know some people like Dell's. That's probably enough. Okay. Not really going to mess with this too much. Just want to kind of get the seasonings mixed in there fairly decently. I've seen people do this without mixing in their seasonings, and it just, I don't know how it can end well, but I try to at least get mine mixed in. Okay, we got our ground beef mixed up, and here I have a gallon-sized freezer bag. Now, if you're not a fan of touching your ground beef, you can always cut the container open that your ground beef is in and just dump your ground beef in the bag and then add your seasonings. The problem with that is it's almost impossible to get your seasonings mixed up, and you'll end up with, your salt on this side, your garlic powder on this side, and, there's no fixing it later. Not this way. So I recommend, if you want to try this, just go ahead and put your ground beef in a bowl and add your seasonings and just mix it up. You don't have to, just mix. You don't want to get your ground beef or ground chuck tough, but you definitely want to get your seasonings mixed in. But this will save you a lot of time later. Let me get this bowl out of our way. Okay. We're going to seal the bag. Pepper all over the counter. That's all right. I got to clean all this up. Seal your bag up. Raise it down. Okay. Raise it down. That's not the perfect. I'm going to raise it down. Yep. Sounds like a southerner. Okay. I let the camera down. Okay. Ground beef. And you're just going to mash. You want to get something and beat it out, or get your rolling pin and roll it out. You can do that too. I'll just do it with my hands. You want to try to make sure you got it the same thickness everywhere. Not always easy, but not too terribly difficult. All right, let's see, it's getting air back in it. Make sure we get all the air out. Okay. Now then, take your 2 fingers, or again, you can get some kind of tool, and we're going to go right down the middle of this ground chuck. Okay, and I should add, you don't want to spread. You don't want to be dragging your ground beef. You literally just want to keep mashing until you make a hole in the middle. Can y'all see that? See that? I made a hole right there in the middle. So basically, you're separating your 2 parts. Now that we've got that completely separated, we're going to turn it this way. And we're going to do the same thing in our halves. It looks about in the middle, right there. Just keep mashing. And then come to this side. Make sure my arm's not in the way. Back this way again. This way again, this way again. And there you go. You instantly have 4 hamburgers. And you didn't have to pat them out with your hands. Now, obviously, this is going in the freezer. But my burgers are already made. They're already seasoned. They're already portioned off. And I didn't have to, I mean, I mixed it in with my hands. You can wear gloves if you want. Like I said, you can dump your ground beef into this bag and just dump your seasonings in. I just don't recommend it because more often than not, your seasonings are going to go like all to one chunk of meat, and then the rest aren't going to get anything. So, like I said, you can wear gloves if you don't like touching meat, but once you get it mixed, get it in your gallon-sized bag, flatten it out as best try to get it as even as you can. Clearly mine is not. It's never going to be. And then just with your finger, separate them. And just like that, I have 4 hamburgers. And I'm going to lay these flat in the freezer. And then whenever I want a hamburger, I'm just going to open this up and grab one of these chunks out. I'll get it out, the day before, put it in the refrigerator. I'll just stick it in a container, or I'll wrap it up in some saran wrap, most likely. And by the next morning or next day, it will be thawed out. And then I'll just take my little piece out and just kind of round it, get it to a hamburger shape. Otherwise, I don't have to do anything. It's already seasoned and all. Doesn't get any easier than that, y'all. Actually, it probably does, but for me, I like this method. Instant 4 hamburgers, and I can freeze them just like that with them already seasoned. So, there you go. That's how I do my chicken, and that's how I do my ground beef if I'm just, going to freeze it, because, like I said, I have to buy in bulk. These prices are astronomical. I don't even buy ground beef that often. I just, can't afford it anymore. But for hamburgers, this is what I do, and this works well for me. And especially laying it flat out in your freezer. It doesn't take up any space. You can pile stuff on top of it. I recommend you stick it in there and let it get frozen first, and then you can go back and, stick it underneath stuff. But 4 burgers. So I appreciate y'all being here and watching this. Don't know if this will be useful to any of you, but I know someday it will be useful to my girls. So truly, truly thank y'all for being here. I'm very appreciative, very humbled by you, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in just a couple days.